Hare Krishna. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gnagna-shalakaya Chakshurumilitamina Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya-manobhistam stapitmena bhutale Syorpagadamahyam dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri-Yuta-padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakartam Sahagna Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduttam Parijana Shitam Krishna Devam Shri Krishna Padas Sahagna Lolita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrisha Panu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutala Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutala Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyadesha Tarine Namaste Sarasvati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyadesha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now I will again try to read from the books. Gaudiya Darsana. You all know this is written from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, the book. This is a translation with explanations of a lecture of His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda, Jai Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, Jai His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda, Jai Śrīla Narayana Maharaj, the Guru of Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. So, how is a wonderful plurality possible in oneness? From the perspective of equality, it is legitimate to string together many substances on one thread. The truth is that Bahutva, plurality, obstructs Prema Dharma. However, if Bahutva is devoted to the self-interest of Ekatva, oneness, this is called Prema. The effort to demolish plurality may be respected from the point of view of worldly understanding, but in the case of plurality within the non-dual one, the endeavor to destroy plurality is only to oppose the one. The subject of the plurality of the one non-dual tattva is heard in the Shruti mantra, Nityo Nityanam, one eternal being among many eternal beings. The plurality of the material world is the root of the threefold suffering. Plurality is necessary due to the absence of variety in the oneness of the external world. And this plurality is manifested in the varieties of the threefold miseries. Wherever there is a difference between the suffering and the sufferer, there is inconvenience. However, in the service of the Advaita Jnana, the experience of misery or cause of distress, visible from the external perspective, is not the threefold misery which is the fruit of the worthlessness of inert plurality. The absence of Bhava Dharma has arisen in the realm of the difference between the body and the embodied. The obstruction of the Paramanu, atom. In the covered darsana of an object, the Paramanu atom comes and obstructs. In the darshana of the Antaryami, the Paramanu comes and blocks the Purna Vichara, complete deliberation of the consciousness. An example of the absence of the non-dual consciousness of the bound soul. When the sun is reflected in numerous mirrors, the same number of reflected suns are produced. Similarly, for the bound souls who are not absorbed in the one exclusive purpose of rendering service to Bhagavan, Maya creates exactly as many different or erroneous conceptions. To what degree is there unity between Chinmatra Vada and Chit Vilasa Siddhanta? Discussion by unqualified persons on the subject of Chinmatra Vada. It seems that there is not much distance between the opinions of the adherents of Chinmatra Vada and the devotees of Bhagavan. The Jnani and the Bhakta both accept that the gross and subtle bodies are lifeless and fit to be rejected. They both say that the unconscious substance can never enter into the conscious. They both say that Jada Vilasa, material enjoyment, is to be rejected. However, on seeing the rejection worthiness and non-eternality of Achit Vilasa, non-spiritual enjoyment, the Jnani also considers the Chit Vilasa, spiritual enjoyment, of Bhagavan's Lila to be non-eternal. By applying Anumana, the method of inference, which has no eligibility to enter into the Siddhanta of Bhagavan's Lila, the Jnani opposes Shabda Pramana and genuine truth. Okay, I will continue the next time with the next parts of the text. Jai Gaudiya Darsana. Jai Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. Jai Śrīla Narayana Maharaj His Guru. Jai His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. Now I will try to sing. Just a moment to sing. What I will sing. Let's see. Just a moment. I will try to sing Sri Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihara Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihara Jaya Gopi Jahnava Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jahnava Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Vihara Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Vihara Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihara Jaya Gopi Jahnava Jaya Girivardhana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Vihara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. And now I will try to sing also the just a moment. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. What I did? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Radha Kripa Kataksa Stava Raja. Munindra Vrnda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vaktra Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Rajendra Banu Nandini Rajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakarisha Shivamam Ripakataksha Bhajana Ashok Vrikshavari Vitanamanda Pastite Pravalavala Palava Prabhapurangri Komala Varapayas Puratkari Prabhuta Sampadava Kadakari Shashivamam Ripakataksha Bhajana Kripa Kadakari Shashiyamam Kripa Kadaksha Bhajanam Kadakari Shashiyamam Kripa Kadaksha Bhajanam Ananga Ganga Mangala Prasanga Banjura Bruvam Savipramam Sasabramam Tritam Dabana Patamai Nirantaram Vasikrita Pratiti Nanda-nandanaastakam Kadakari Shashivama Kripa
Kataksa bhajana Tade suvarna champaga Pradipta gaura vigrahe Mukha prabha parasta kodi Sharadendu mandala Vichitra chitra sanchara Chakora shavalochane Kadakarisha shihamam Ripakataksha bhajana Kadakarisha shihamam Ripakataksha bhajanam Kadakarisha shihamam Ripakataksha bhajanam Madhanvanati yovane pramodamana mandite priyanuragaranjite kalavilasa pandite ananya danya kunjaraja kamakeli kovide hadakarisha shivama ripakataksha bhajanam ashesha Bhavadil Hirahara Bhushite Raputa Shata Kumbha Kumbha Kumbhi Kumbha Sustani Prashasta Mandahasya Chuna Purna Saukya Sagari Hadakari Shashihava Ripakataksha Bhajana Vrinala Vala Taranga Dorlate Latagralasya Lola Nila Lochanave Lokane La La Lola Milan Manoge Moge Mohana Shrite Kadakarisha Shivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakarisha Shivama Ripakataksha Bhajanam Hadakarisha Shihamam Ripakataksha Bhajanam Suvarnamari Kanjida Trireka Kapukantage Trisutra Mangali Guna Triratna Dipti Dipti Salola Nila Kuntala Prasuna Gucha Gumfite Kadakarisha Shivama Ripakataksha Bhajan Nitamba Bimbala Mana Pushpa Mekala Gunai Prashasta Ratna Kinkini Halapa Madhya Manjula Karindra Shunda Dandi Kavaroha Sahapaguruge Hadakarisha Shivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Amneka Mantra Nada Manju Nupurara Vaskalat Samajaratna Hamsa Vamsa Nikvanati Gora Vilola Himavalari Vidampi Charu Chakrame Kadakarisha Shivamal Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakarisha Shivamal Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakarisha Shivamal Kripakataksha Bhajana Ananta Koti Vishnu Lok Namra Padmacharsite Himadrija Pulomaja Virinka Javara Prada Apara Siddhi Rididi Satpadangulina Ke Kadakarisha Shihama Ripakataksha Bhajana Makeshwari, Krishwari, Swadeshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Bharatishwari, Brahmana Shasaneshwari, Rameshwari, Ksameshwari, Pramod Kahananeshwari, Vrajeshwari, Vrajadipe, Shiradike Namostute, Itimamat Putam Stava Nishamya Panu Nandini Karotu Santata Vrajana Kripa Kataksa Bhajana Pavita Daiva Sanchita Trirupa Karma Nashana Pavita Vrajendra Suna Mandala Praveshana Katakrisha Shihamam Ripakataksha Bhajanam Katakrisha Shihamam Ripakataksha Bhajanam.
Now I will try to read from the book from the um, Gayatri book, the Gayatri book of His Holiness Sachinanda Swami. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Sachinanda Swami. Jai His Divine Grace Abhay Charnara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda, his Guru Maharaj. Now I must see where I was here. Just a moment. Let's see. So, it's chapter 4. So, there was this description of into the 5 progressive stages of smarana. Here it is written, the process of smarana is divided into 5 progressive stages according to the sadhaka's level of remembrance. Then they were described: smarana, dharana, dhyana, dhruva, anusmriti, samadhi. So I think I have read them, but I will again read them now, and I will continue then a little bit further. Going through these stages will bring one to the highest platform of directly realizing Krishna. Smarana is the beginning. Just a moment. Let's see. Did I? Okay, I think I have read this. Okay, yes. Smarana is the beginning stage wherein one consciously tries to focus the mind on Sri Hari's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, and so on. Since the beginner's mind is uncontrolled, agitated, and restless, meditation at this level is only partial, constantly interrupted by distracting thoughts. The ability to concentrate is limited. Dharana absorption develops when, by repeated effort, the mind begins to be purified. Then the sadhaka is able to at least occasionally withdraw the mind from external objects and fix it on the Lord, if only in a general way. Dhyana, meditation, is a mature stage of absorption, whereas in dharana, the mind's focus is general. In dhyana, one is able to specifically contemplate the Lord's names, forms, qualities, pastimes. Dhruva anusmriti, constant remembrance, develops when the sadhaka learns to meditate or chant without offense. Dhruva, constant, unwavering. Anu, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Smriti, remembrance. Then meditation on Krishna's outstanding qualities involves an uninterrupted and unconstrained flow of remembrance. A continuous flow of nectar that overwhelms the devotee's heart with the transcendental bliss. 5. Samadhi, spiritual rapture, is the mature stage of Dhruva Anusmriti. Without separate effort, the devotee is able to meditate deeply on Krishna and be completely captured by him. Shri Krishna becomes the sole object of the devotee's thinking, feeling, and desiring. The perfection of Krishna consciousness, of Krishna conscious samadhi, is called apana, complete assimilation. At this stage, the Lord's internal energy sweeps away all remaining material concepts and identifications. No longer disturbed by either this world's unpleasant or pleasant events, the devotee attains the transcendental platform of bhava and becomes fixed in continuous meditation on Radha and Krishna in Vrindavana. Since bhava is the blossoming stage of Prema, Samadhi will lead one to Prema. When one's bhava blossoms by developing its mature state, we can attain Samadhi by chanting the Gayatri mantras. Manana, a life of reflection. Chanting the Gayatri mantras is a lifelong activity that will ultimately help us to mature into higher states of realization. To reach those states requires a constant process of reflection or absorption called manana. This is the whole essence of spirituality. In the word of Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living. Chanting Gayatri absent immediately. Absent immediately. No, absent-mindedly. 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 Without without the mind. Absent-mindedly in absence of the mind. Okay? Without reflection. Without reflection. That means without reflection. Is a shallow experience. The Shastras encourage us. And now there's a quotation, a citation. Just a moment. Citation number 46 from chapter 4. Madhya Lila 20, 125. Compare also Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22, 105. Quoted on page 88 for an exact definition of sadhana. Okay. Now, the translation is of this citation is the following. Through reflection, manana, one is delivered from sinful reactions. Through reflection, one enjoys heaven. And through reflection, one obtains liberation and all the four goals of human life. Now I will try to sing this citation here, this quotation.
Mandana-nandanaastakam.
Sorry, I don't see anything. Oh, it's impossible.
Mandana-nandanaastakam. Mandana-swargatasrati. Mandana-mokshamapnoti. Chaturvagamaya bhava. Mandana-papadasrati. Mandana-swargamasrati. Mandana-mokshamapnoti. Chaturvadamatyopavet.
Just a moment, I just can't. Mananat svargam asnute.
Mananas papatastrati, mananas vargamashnute, mananat mokshamapnoti, chaturvagamayobhave.
When the text is also not in black but in gray, it's not easy. It's okay. There is a difference between just a moment. Between smarana and manana. Although both refer to mental absorption. Smana is one of the 9 processes of sadhana bhakti, described by Prahlada Maharaj. And now again there is a citation 41 or the other. What citation was? Sorry, it was not sorry. The other was not 46, it was 40. And the next one is 40. So the before the citation was number 40. Oh my god. Terrible. This is Gayatri Tantra 1-4. Okay. And the citation 41, this is Bhag 7 5.23. Bhagavata Purana, this is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, it is a practice as part of one's daily sadhana to focus the mind on the Lord without allowing to be diverted to any other subject. Manana is the conscious reflection and deliberation of what has been heard by deep thought, intellectual consideration, and discussion, being a lifelong endeavor of becoming truly self conscious and Krishna conscious. Manana leads to realization and assimilation of Krishna consciousness in one's life. This is citation number 42. This topic is deliberately discussed by Purnachandra Prabhu in Unspoken Obstacles on the Path of Bhakti, page 55. Gayatri is meant to help us achieve this perfection. For this end, one should practice the following 6 steps while chanting the Gayatri mantras. 1. One should remember the meaning of the mantras. 2. One should search out the mantra devatas, the deities of the mantras. In meditation, the deities for the different Gayatri mantras are A. Brahma Gayatri, Krishna or Radha Krishna. B. Guru Gayatri, the spiritual master is Mukunda Preshta. He who is dear to Lord Mukunda and who gives him pleasure. C. Gaura Gayatri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. D. Gopala Gayatri, Sri Gopala, the Lord of Vrindavana. E. Kama Gayatri, the divine couple Sri Radha and Krishna in their divine pastimes. Three. One should meditate on one's relationship with these deities. 4. One should take exclusive shelter at their lotus feet. 5. One should practice the 6 limbs of Sharanagati, which will lead to the final step. Now there is a quotation number 43. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2200. Six. One should practice the path of Atma Nivedana, full self-surrender without reservation. One who finds these 6 steps too complicated, may observe the following 2 rules. 1. Chant with full attention. 2. While chanting, meditate with affection on the meaning of the mantras. So I will continue next time with the further explanations and descriptions. I'll continue next time with the reading. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Sachinatana Swami. Jai His Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace Abhay Charnara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Now I will try to sing the Nanda-nandanaastakam.
Sucharivakramandalam sukarnaratnakundalam sucharitangachandanam namami nandanandanam sudikanetrapankajam sikhisikandamurtajam anangakotimmohanam namami nandanandanam sunashikagramantikam Swachandadantapaktikam Navambudangachikana Namami Nanda-nandana Karina Venuranjita Gati Karindra Ganjita Dukula Pita Shobana Namami Nanda-nandana Tripangadeha Sundaram Nakadyuti Sudhakaram Amularatna Bhushanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Sukandahanga Sarabam Urovirajikastubam Spurachrivatsalanjanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavasasam Surendra Garvamojanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Vrajangana Sunayakam Sadasuka Pradayakam Jagamana Pralopanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Śrīnanda-nandanaastakam Patitya Śradayamvita Taripavam Pidustaram Labitadangri-yukmakam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Namami Nanda-nandanam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Now I will try to read from the A Place of Sandalwood and Roses. Jai Shri Shrimati Govinda Dasi. Jai Her Diksha Guru. Her Guru Maharaj. His Divine Grace Abhay Charnara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Chapter 16 About Drugs. In the next morning class, the Swami preaches strongly against the use of drugs or any form of intoxication. He insists that it is not necessary for spiritual life and actually has the opposite effect on one's consciousness. Needless to say, this is not a popular claim in, in Hyde Ashbury of 1967. It is more like a cry in the wilderness, yet he is uncompromising. He is compassionate, tolerant, and kind, but he does not change his spiritual principles to suit the public. There is no need of this marijuana or this LSD, Swamiji explains. All these are different forms of intoxication, of intoxicants. They make one dependent upon them for some flickering feeling of happiness. But that happiness will not last. It will go away, and nothing is solved. And even worse, the consciousness becomes degraded in this way. The real problems of life, birth, death, old age, disease, these problems will remain. The drugs make you forget them for a few moments. That's all. It is not a solution. He further explains, this marijuana, it will not give you spiritual life or spiritual happiness. It will give more illusion. Already we are in illusion. It will only increase our darkness. It will lead you into the lower modes of nature, the tamaguna. After some time, your mind will become dull and sleepy. That's all. Swamiji pauses to look at his hippie congregation, well aware that most of them are engrossed in some form of intoxication and wrongly believe that it will lead them to spirituality or liberation. There are also such drugs in India. They take in they take in so many ways. Bang, hashish, they call it by many names, but it will never give you spiritual life. It will only impede your progress. And it may also destroy your very precious human form of life, obtained after so many births. He continues, knowing that most he continues knowing that most of the youth do not agree with him. He is unfazed. This idea of taking drugs to worship Lord Shiva, it is nonsense idea. Lord Shiva is a very great personality. He can swallow an ocean of poison. You cannot, you cannot. It will destroy you. When you take these drugs, you will automatically attract the ghosts and hobgoblins who follow Lord Shiva, and you will be calling death very near. Please don't do that. Don't do this. My disciples must agree to give up this practice. When I give them initiation, they must agree to follow these four principles of human life. No meat eating, no unmarried sex, no unmarried sex life, no unmarried sex life, no gambling, and no intoxication. Not marijuana, not even tea or coffee. Especially, they must be very careful of these things like marijuana and LSD. They can cause so much trouble in the mind. They can make the mind too much crazy. We have seen so many times, and sometimes even they may lead one to suicide. The Swami's eyes pop open wide at the word suicide. That's easy to see, Bonnie thinks. She sees the mass mayhem of the drug-intoxicated youth in Hythe Ashbury. They are even there are even deaths from overdoses, and crazy LSD episodes are common. One young man on LSD recently jumped off a building to his death, thinking he could fly. Crazed hippies on bad trips come to the temple nearly every morning. Swamiji says flatly, you don't need drugs. Your spiritual life is already there. Drugs are a hindrance. Your spiritual life with Krishna is already present. You have only to awaken it. Drugs will not help you awaken it. Chanting Hare Krishna will help you awaken your eternal spiritual life. And you will become blissful. Chant Hare Krishna. The room erupts in a joyous chorus of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bonnie contemplates the lecture. She agrees with the Swami. She and Garrett had dabbled in drugs only briefly, just before leaving college. At first they tried marijuana only, then later LSD. They did it in hopes of spiritual enlightenment, as promoted by the famous LSD guru, Timothy Leary. But the experience was disappointing. Marijuana heightened sensory awareness at first, but gradually led one's consciousness to become dull, sluggish, and stupid. Dizzy and dopey, Bonnie used to say. Meditation, on the other hand, brings one's consciousness into crystal clear focus. She finds it opens one's awareness to everything in creation, nature, birds, insects, trees, plants, the universal hum, the mystic sound om, that om, that pervades the whole creation, a kind of cosmic music that gives joy to the soul. Bonnie hardly notices when Garrett tosses the remaining bit of marijuana out of the window of their tiny flat. It makes little difference to her, as she has already come to prefer the blissful oneness found in deep trance meditation. And now she finds that hearing the sweet sounds of the Maha Mantra, and especially the Swami's enchanting prayers, gives an even more gives an even more blissful experience than her silent meditation. She closes her eyes and melts into the sound of Swamiji's rich baritone voice as he sings Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His voice reaches into her heart, soothing her soul and lifting her to new dimensions. She feels the sweet strains of the Maha Mantra flow into her ears like mystic honey, filling her heart with a golden light that expands to her whole body. Her head moves gently from side to side as she savors the waves of ecstasy that vibrate throughout her being, and she feels a lightness she has never experienced before. Tears of joy well up in her eyes, and she's humbled with deep feelings of gratitude and love. The Hare Krishna chanting becomes louder and faster, building to a climax. Bonnie finds herself in a state of trance deeper than her usual meditation, as if bobbing in an ocean of bliss. She begins to move in a swaying gentle dance with arms upraised, just as she has seen the Swami dance. It is a natural movement, a calling from the heart in the sacred presence of God. And I will continue with the next chapter, chapter 17, the big dance, the next time. We see how beautiful it is explained from Srimati Govinda Dasi, and this is actually what she have has described now. What she had described, what she had described in the text we heard now. It is very similar to verse 6 of Shikshastakam. Nanam Golata Shudaraya, Vtanam Gadaruda Gira, Plakane Chitam Vapukada, Tavanama Grahne Bhavishati. Nanam Golata Shudaraya, Gadgadam, no, sorry, Vtanam Gadgadaruda Gira, Plakane Chitam Vapukada, Tavanama Garhane Bhavishati. O Lord, when it will be that when I chant your holy names, tears will flow from my eyes, my voice will choke and tremble in ecstasy. The hairs of my body will stay on will stay on end out of ecstasy. Ecstasy. When it will be, O Lord, like this, when I chant your holy names, and as uh, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Sanmodana Bhasyam describes, this verse 6 of Shikshastakam describes Shikshastaka describes the external um, features, symptoms of perfection, the external symptoms, features of love, of pure love to God. Uh, so we see how um, the pure devotees of the Lord, they um, can really experience such a thing. Um, and and we of course um, it is the highest devotee of the Lord is Srimati Radhika, of course. She is the topmost pure devotee, which is described in chapter in verse 10 of Śrīla Upadeshamrita of Śrīla Rupa Goswami. And Srimati Radhika is the person who Krishna loves more than everybody else. And Srimati Radhika loves Krishna more than everybody else with the highest love in all the worlds, Madanakya Mahabhava or Unuta Ujjvala Rasa. And she is the topmost pure devotee among every other devotee, not only among the gopis, but among all the other devotees. And after her are the gopis, the other gopis of Vrindavan. We see how the women are actually naturally more devoted to the Lord because of the nature of the women. And the topmost pure devotee is a woman, this is Srimati Radhika. So, and after her, the pure devotees, the other pure devotees are the other gopis of Vrindavan, and after them there are many other devotees who are also pure devotees. Yes, and we see how these moods can be really experienced from persons who are actually pure devotees. Um, yes, also this is something it is also a little bit similar. This moods are also a little bit similar with this samadhi, which we heard already described in the Gayatri book. The samadhi, spiritual rapture, is the mature stage of dhruva anusmriti, which we heard some minutes ago about this from Satchidananda Swami. So we see how the disciples of His Divine Grace Bhaichar Vrnda, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda, and also the disciples of Śrīla Narayana Maharaj, they're actually pure devotees because His Divine Grace Bhaichar Vrnda, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda, and also Śrīla Narayana Maharaj, they're also pure devotees of the Lord. And in this way, their disciples can also become pure devotees. They are also pure devotees. Now I will try to sing the Damodaraastakam. Nam Namamishvaram Satchitanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabiyalukalatamana Paramristamatyanta Todrutyagopya Rutantamurnetrayagmamrijanta Karambojayugmana Santankanetra Muhusvasakam Patrirakam Gaganta Stitagrivam Damodaram Bhaktivada Hitutriksvarlila Pirantanta Kunde Sakosham Nimachantam Akyapayantam Tadiyashitagneshu Bhaktirshitattvam Puna Prematastam Satavritivandam Varam Deva Moksham Namoksham Diva Nachanya Vrineham Vareshatapiva Itante Vapuna Tagapalabala Satame Manasya Virastam Kimanya Itam te mokam bojam matyam tanila Vritam kuntala snega raktascha gopya Muhus kumbitam bimbaraktam tarame Manasya virasta alam lakshalaya Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhupada Kajala Himada Kripa Drasi Vrastyati Dinambatana Grihana Shamavadya Yatyakshidrisya Kuvirat Majapada Muttavayadva Tvayamuchita Bhakti Bhajakritacha Tata Prema Bhakti Svakame Prayacha Namo Shigrahomasti Damodare Namaste Stodane Sparaditidane Tvadiyadurayata Vishwasyadane Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandalila Devaya Tuvya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tuvya Namo Vishvaram Satchitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabiyalukalatamana Paramristamatyanta Todrutyagopya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tuvya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tuvya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namonandalilaya Devaya Tubhya.
Now I will try to read also from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the translation of His Divine Grace by Charnara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Um, 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 the translation of Chaitanya Charitamrita of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Translation and explanations, purports from His Divine Grace by Charnara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. So the last text was Madhya Lila 8:106.
Kamsarira posamsara Vasanabada Shrikala Radha Madaya Hridaya Tatya Javraja Sundara Kamsarira Samsara Vasanabada Chikalamrata Madaya Hridaya Taptaya Vraja Sundara Hai Taptaya Vraja Sundara
Translation. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, took Srimati Radharani within his heart, for he desired to dance with her. Thus he left the arena of the rasa dance and the company of all the other beautiful damsels of Vraj. The next verse, Madhya Lila 8:107.
Hitastastamanushritaradhikamanangabanavranakinnamanasa Kritanutapasakalinda Nandinitaranta kunje Vishashadamadava Hitastatatamanushrita Radhikamanangaban Vranakinnamanasa Kretura papasa kalinda nandini tatanta kunja vishashada madhava itasta tata manushrita radhikam anangabana vranakina manasa Papa Sakalinda Nandita Tanta Kunjavi Ashana Mandava Hitastata Tamanushrita Radhika Mananga Banavrat Kina Manasaha Grita Nuta Pasakalinda Nandini Tata Kunjeva Shashana Madhava.
Translation. Being afflicted by the arrow of Cupid and unhappily regretting his mistreating Srimati Radharani, Madhava, Lord Krishna began to search for her along the banks of the Yamuna river. When he failed to find her, he entered the bushes of Vrindavana and began to lament. There is a purport, one sentence. These two verses are from the Gita Govinda 3, 1 to 2. 3, 1 and 3, 2. Written by Jahnava Goswami. The next verse, Madhya Lila 8, 108.
Hey do shlokare harita vicharila jane vicharite uttayena amrite rakhani. Hey do shlokare harita vicharile jane vicharite uttayena amrite rakhani.
Translation. Simply by considering these two verses, one can understand what nectar there is in such dealings. It is exactly like freeing a mine of nectar. The next verse, Madhya Lila 8, 109.
Shatakoti gopi sangera savilasa taramadya ekamurkera radapasha. Shatakoti gopi sangera savilasa taramadya ekamurkera radapasha.
Translation. Although Krishna was in the midst of hundreds of thousands of gopis during the rasa dance, he still kept himself in one of his transcendental forms by the side of Srimati Radharani. I will continue to read these beautiful texts the next time. Namaste Narasihaya. Namaste Narasihaya. Prahlada Lada Daine. Prahlada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shilatanganakalayu. 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 Iton Rishimo Paraton Rishimo. Iton Rishimo Paraton Rishimo. Yato yato yamitaton Rishimo. Yato yato yamitaton Rishimo. Bahirnisimho hridaye nrisimho. Bahirnisimho hridaye nrisimho. Nrisimhamadi Sharanya Prapade. Nrisimhamadi Sharanya Prapade. Tava kara kamalavare Naka Apute Shrinka Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa
Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Jai Jagadish Hare
Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Shinishimha Janrishim Jaya Janrishimha Dev Prahladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shinishimha Janrishim Jaya Janrishimha Dev Prahladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shinishimha Janrishim Jaya Janrishimha Dev Prahladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shinishima Janrishim Jaya Janrishim Hadev Prahladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa
Nrsimhade Jaya
Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Prahlad Nishimha Prahlad Nishimha Prahlad Nishimha Jaya Prahlad Nishimha
Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha
Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha
Prahlad Nrsimha
Prahlad Nishimha Prahlad Nishimha Jaya Prahlad Nishimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya
Jagannath Jaya
Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Gauranitai
Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Sri Sri Gauranitai 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 Jaya Sri Sri Gauranitai 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 Sri Sri Gauranitai Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha
Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radha
Radha Shyam Radha Shyam
Radha Govinda Radha Gokula Nanda
Radha Gopinatha Radha Govinda Radha Shyam Jai Shri Radha Radha Gopinatha Radha Madhava Radha Gokunanda Shri Radha Radha Shyam Radha Shyam Radha Govinda Radha Shyam Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam. Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Gurudeva. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Śrīla Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for your attention. If I try to say something connected with Vedic literature or books on Vedic literature on or books connected with bhakti, you should know I'm not qualified in such topics, so I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand um, these um, spiritual topics. Of course, one have to try to understand the Vedic literature and books on Vedic literature and bhakti under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. All of you who are Vaishnavas, devotees in Raganuga Bhakti, and especially those who are devotees Vaishnavas in Rupanuga Bhakti, you are all my gurus. You are all my, yes, my gurus, my teachers, my Shiksha gurus. You are all my gurus. Dandavat pranams to you. Vanchakalpatarupascha kripasnukupeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much for your attention. Hare Krishna.